Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting coding challenge live stream with Flutter. I'm your host Sajad, a proud member of our Flutter team and a passionate Flutter developer. Well, after witnessing the tremendous success of our previous coding challenges and being blown away by your unwavering dedication to participate in these coding challenges, we are thrilled to announce that these coding challenges will now regularly be on our YouTube channel. So get ready for some hands-on, mind-bending coding challenges that will truly put your Flutter skills to the ultimate test. Well, alright, let's move to the next slide. But before we dive into the heart of today's live stream, let me give you some sneak peek at what's coming your way so you guys have the idea of the whole live stream. First of all, we will start by unveiling the exciting new coding challenge that's bound to ignite your creativity and push your Flutter skills to the new heights. And trust me guys, we are having an amazing Flutter project for you in this coding challenge. And then we will go to the rewards and recognition section for the winners. But that's not all. We will also be showcasing the brilliant minds behind the Real Estate app, the winners of our and at the end, we will have a Q&A session where we will answer all your queries. So make sure you guys stay till the end because you could also be the winner of our last coding challenge. Well, let's get started, but first I will have a quick reminder that we have created a Flutter community in WhatsApp where we have different groups for you people. For example, announcement where we post all updates and news about Flutter and Flutter. General discussion where you can talk and meet with other Flutter developers. Job opportunities where you can possibly find a job for yourself. And to join, it's really simple. You just need to pull out your phone, scan the QR code that is available on the screen, or you can go the link that is available on the screen and you will also find the link to join within the live chat. So make sure you join our WhatsApp community to get benefits. And that's not all. We have also created our WhatsApp channel, so make sure that you follow that as well because we will be sharing more updates about Flutter and Flutter there in our WhatsApp channel. Alright, this was about our WhatsApp community.
Welcome coding enthusiasts. I am thrilled to unveil our next coding challenge where we are diving into the world of a coffee application. In this challenge, you will be tasked with creating 4 dynamic screens that promise a seamless and engaging user experience. Let's break it down. First of all, you have to create a home screen. On this screen, you have to showcase all the products from various categories. Click on any product to enter the detail screen. The next screen is going to be obviously a detail screen. On this screen, you have to select the size of your coffee, for example, small, medium or large. Click the Buy Now button to embark on your coffee journey to the order detail screen. The third screen is going to be our order detail screen. Here is the decision time. Choose between delivery or pickup. Add your delivery address or a special note, if any. Adjust item quantity to your liking and hit the order button to seal the deal. The fourth screen is going to be our delivery screen. Track the magic, witness the status of your order, experience the convenience of Google Map with the added polylines, and also you have to create a nifty location button to let your users discover their current location with just a single tap. This challenge is not about just coding, it's about crafting an exceptional user experience. Don't miss out on the opportunity to showcase your skills and elevate your coding game. Now, let's talk about how you can participate. First of all, you have to fill the form. Provide your email address for easy communication. You can access the Figma design link for a sneak peek into the UI, and here you have to share your name for a well-deserved shout-out. The next thing you have to provide is your GitHub repository link. Create a public GitHub repository for your coffee app. Share the repository link with us so that we can review your code. The third thing is a profile picture. Upload your profile picture so that we can put a face on a talent. And that's it. Follow these steps and you might find yourself in the spotlight. Over to you, Sajad.
Now let's talk about the rewards and recognition for this coding challenge. The first reward that you will get is the shout out from the Flutter during our live stream. After that, we will share your GitHub profile, so it's always better like people can visit your GitHub profile, give you some stars, can follow you on your GitHub profile, and maybe sponsor you in the future. And to top it off, we will have a personalized feedback session during the live stream where we will review your Flutter project, give you some feedback to help you become a great Flutter developer. And that's all about the rewards that you will get if you get a chance to win the coding challenge. Let's go to the next slide. Remember, this isn't a one-way live stream. We want to hear from you also. Therefore, drop your questions, thoughts, queries in the live chat because we will be addressing them all during our Q&A session, whether it's about the Copy Shop app, Flutter, or coding challenge itself. No query will go unanswered. Now, without further ado, let's turn the spotlight over Harris, who will be unveiling the winners from our last coding challenge. But stay till the end with us because you could also be the winner of our last coding challenge.
Now, let's take a moment to celebrate our winners from the last coding challenge. The very first winner we have is Rafli Silhu. Fantastic job, Rafli, and many congratulations to you as you are the first winner of this challenge. So, let's see what you have created. So this is the first screen, and when I click on next, now I have navigated to the home page, and when I click on search, there is a search functionality. When I am typing anything, you can see the properties listed, which means the search functionality is working correctly. Now moving forward, when I click on this property, the property is open and all the details are listed on the screen. And when I tap on this heart icon, this is also changing. That's really great. We can also view pictures of this property, which is again a great addition of functionality. So overall, you have used good animations, but there are some overflow issues which you can resolve and make your application just work like a charm. And yeah, that's it. Now coming to the second winner of our coding challenge. The name of the second winner is Indra Krishna. Congratulations to Indra that he has won the challenge. Now let's see what you have created. Okay, so this is the first screen with a really good animation, and when I click on next, we have been navigated to the home page with a really good animation. But you can see the search functionality is not working in your application. But again, there is something good, which is this map functionality, and it is also working, which is a really great addition in your application. So overall, you have used really good animations, but you can make this search functionality working and this bottom navigation bar working. So that's it. Now moving to the last and the final winner of our live stream. So are you guys excited to know the final winner? The name of the final winner is Laksh Samdaria. Congratulations, Laksh. Now let's see what you have created. So here is the very first page of his application, and when I click on next, we have been navigated to home page, which is great. But here I cannot see any kind of animations. So basically animations just make your application more livable and more appealing. So make sure to use animations where it is needed. Moving forward, your bottom navigation bar is also working along with the favorite functionality and the profile screen as well as the settings screen, which means you have focused on the functionalities, which is really great, but you can also focus on animations to make your application more appealing. Now coming to the code review, which is going to be done by Sajad. So over to you, Sajad.
Alright, so in this section, I'll be just reviewing the codes of the winners that have won our last coding challenge of the real estate application. We have already announced them and you guys witnessed that they have created a very beautiful applications, but still we need to give them some feedback. I'll just walk you through, guys, also with me along with the code and see if there's any feedback and how they can improve and become better developers. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do, we are developing applications, websites, or maybe web applications, or code matters. It should be maintainable, it should be readable, it should be in a shape very well structured so that other people can also understand it whenever they see. So this section is all about reviewing the codes of the winners and giving them some feedback, and you guys can also learn from this, because in the future, if you guys are developing applications or working alone, or maybe you are participating in the coding challenges, then yeah, of course you can follow all these feedbacks and make sure that you not repeat these same mistakes again. So I have already opened the project of the first winner. Here you can see the home-based UI challenge man. I've already opened it in my VS Code, and I'll just walk you through the codes and see if there's any feedback that we can give. First of all, the thing that we will start with the structure of the project. So let's go with the structure. So here you can see that he have already structurized his projects very well, because if you see, assets are in the assets folder, because assets is just a general folder. Inside we have the images, we have the SVG, we have the icons, maybe fonts, etc. Whatever we are adding, it should be already here. Right now the fonts he have added over here, it's like outside of the assets folder. So what we could do is just to move this fonts, because this is also a part of the assets, inside our assets folder. So this is the thing. This is the first feedback that you have to always look upon the structure of your code, because if you structure your code better, everyone can understand. They can look up after your code and see, and they will understand it well. So the first feedback for this is just to add whatever you're adding the assets in your application. Make sure that you move it to the assets folder. Right now you have structurized it well. You have the images, you have the SVGs, but the fonts are outside of the assets folder, which is not a great approach. So we can just simply put it within the assets folder. Alright, so let's go to the main file. We will start from the main file and we will see if we could find anything. Yeah, instead of like writing this main method, sometimes it's better to have the arrow functions. We could just, instead of the 3 lines, we could just simply use the arrow functions, and it does the same job for us, and it also saves a lot of time for us. Like right now, if you see, if I save the application, so here you can see that now it's in the 1 line, and it's also more readable, more maintainable. So sometimes we can use the arrow functions instead of the curly braces, so it looks great and it's more readable. Then let's go to the others. Everything's fine, I guess. Yeah, it looks great. Alright, so everything looks great on the main file. Now I've noticed one other thing, that we have this folder over here, the views folder. So maybe he have a background in the Android native development. That's why maybe he's using this term over here for pages or maybe screens. But most of the time in Flutter development, like people usually use screens, or maybe you can also use pages. So this is like a more common term that is used for the folders that contains the screens or pages of the mobile of the application. So here also you could use this pages name, or maybe you can use a screen name. So this is another feedback that I have for you. Maybe you can just learn from this. Like the naming conventions are also so important, because if you have better naming conventions in your code, it represents itself and it's more readable. Now let's go to the widgets folder and see if we can find anything. Yeah, the app bar. Let's go through these. Yeah, as you can see, like within the build method, we are returning a builder, and then we have a position widget over here, and then this whole code goes into one thing, which is not so readable. And at the end, you can also see that there is like two brackets every time, which is also not a good approach, and not structurizing the code is not very well formatted. The point is, it is not very well formatted. So what we could do is just put comma after each bracket to structurize the code better, and it will be always like very maintainable and readable. See, now it's working fine. Yeah, for the container also, sometimes we also need to remove the commas from the last property of each widget to make it in 1 line. Right now, if you see, we have enough space available on the right side, so we could just remove this, and yeah, everything's good. You can see, yeah, everything's fine now. Yeah, this is also not so good. If you just remove it, yeah, no, we have to put it right here. Yeah. This is about like this. The main idea of this is sometimes we can just use we can just write the code within 1 line instead of like occupying different spaces. Like if we just remove this, you can see we have it in 1 line, which looks great, and instead of writing it in 2 lines. So here you can see that within these there's like a lot of code inside the app bar. We have like, so it's always better like to use extracting the widgets outside so it's more readable and it's more maintainable. The code itself, it's very maintainable. So instead of having the whole code within the build method and defining each and everything within the build method like you have it over here, is what we could do is just like, for example, if this is the sized box and we are having something, if we extract this like in the method and call it from outside, like build a sized box. So you can see the code is now more readable and we have extracted a lot of code. Like this code is maintainable, now it's more readable. We have to build a sized box. It is taking these as an arguments, and we have defined it outside, which is really good. So we could do the same for the others also, like for the gesture detector or maybe for the animated builder or any other widgets that we are including inside the build method, because this is a good approach to have to extract the widgets outside of the build method. So this was generally general feedback about this. If we do this, this is also fine. Now let's go to the content file. Here you can see, as I spoke earlier about the formatting the code better. Right now about the sized box, you're writing it in 3 lines. So instead of 3 lines, if we just remove the comma over here and save the file, here you can see it's now in 1 line. So it's always better to look after these things because it really matters, and it will enhance the code quality, the quality of your code. Like right now, again, the same mistake, like size box within 3 lines. If we have enough space available, we could just remove the comma and we have it within the 1 line. And also at the end, we could just put a comma to separate these two brackets from each other, which will look also great. Again, if we just remove the comma, this would be looking just fine. Yeah, so these are just general feedbacks about formatting the code better. Yeah, same here. So I assume that there will be like the codes, everything is good, but you have, as you can see, within the build method, we are just having a lot of code. We are having carousel slider within included, everything's included. So instead of like including this over here, we could just, if we just extract it outside, this code would be looking very clean. Like we extract the position widget outside. We also extract this safe area, maybe the container outside. So as you can see, and even though like we are extracting like the widgets that we are using, like for example we're using stack, so we extract it outside and we call it from over here and just name it like build stack or something like that, and then use it within the build method. So in this way it would be more readable and the code itself, it would be more maintainable. I guess like this was just let's go to the others, but these are also like fine. Only these small feedbacks would be there because we have already see the result that the app itself works really fine. One positive feedback over here is just that he have done a great job like doing the routes. Like we have the routes, we also have the names over listed over here. So this is also a great thing. We are also having a class of route names, so whenever we are just using any routes, we are giving a reference, so we could just call the route name, and then from there we could have the autocomplete the whole list of the routes that we have within the application, and we can access it anywhere within the application. Then we have the pages. So before it was a views, now I have changed it to pages. So this was just a general feedback. Same here. Yeah, everything's fine, I guess. Again, this is the same mistake as I mentioned earlier. If you just remove this comma, the code itself would be like more formatted. Let's go to the other one. So the naming conventions also represent itself. Right now, if you see, this is the name first, and then we don't have anything. So it's not very self-explanatory names. So instead of like this, we could have a first page, home page, search page, or something like this. Maybe we have a detailed page, we have a cart page, or others. So whenever we are using these conventions, it represents itself, and if someone else is checking out your code, he knows that this is the home page, this is the search page, this is the card screen, or whatever it is. Then another positive feedback that he have the models in a separate folder, and for the house data he have created a separate list of houses list, and then he have added the whole list of the houses that he have used within the application. So this is also a great thing whenever you're using models and then data. So it's always good to just separate them from each other. Then we have the controllers. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much good. As you can see, you have the functions over here. Yeah, everything's fine. The logic, maybe there may be something wrong with the logic, but there's always like a better way and easiest way to do things. So I cannot just like do more feedback for this one. I guess I've checked it enough. And for the fonts, I already in the start I mentioned that we could just move it inside the assets folder, because the fonts it is related to the assets of the application, so we could keep it here. So this was just general and feedback about how we can structurize our code better, and this was for the first winner of the last coding challenge. Now we will move to the second project. Alright, so I have already opened the second project of our winner, the real estate application, who have won and secured the second position of our last coding challenge. So same as before, I will also walk you through the code of this project, and we will see like if there's any feedback that I could give him, and you guys can also learn from it whenever you're participating in the next coding challenges that we have already announced. So make sure that you do not make these mistakes. So let's talk about code structure. First of all, the folder structure of this project. So yeah, the assets are already there. The first person who did the mistake was just putting the fonts outside of the assets folder and keeping it in the root directory, but this was not a good approach. Right now, if you guys can see, the assets, fonts, and images are inside the assets folder. So this is a positive feedback. You have done a really great job. Now let's go to the lib directory and see if everything is in place. So first of all, we'll start with the model folder. Let's see if he has defined everything very well. Yeah, he have the model. Yeah, it's good. On the screen, let's go to the nav bar. Let's see if we could find anything. Things good. But first off, let's start with the main file. So the first feedback is always the same. Like instead of like curly braces, sometimes we can use the arrow functions. It does the same job for us, and it's also like more readable. Yeah, it's more like in one line. We could just directly know that yeah, it returns run app, and it's running our app. Yeah, that's cool. So you could already do this. Now let's go to the widgets. Utils, we have the services, we have the screens. All right, let's go to the widgets, more images. Let's see what he have here. Again, like as I mentioned for the other feedback, for the other also, like within the build method, we are having a lot of code written inside the build method. So this is not very good approach. We could just like extract it outside to make it more maintainable. Like right now, this is for some image, so we could just like extract it outside and give it a name, and then we call it from within the build method. So it's more like visible and maintainable. Like the code itself would be more formatted. Right now, instead of 3 lines, what we could do just like remove the comma and just write it within the 1 line. So it's more like a good approach. yeah, right now in the build method we are just providing the stack, and inside then we have the clip racks. So we can also just like extract the stack outside, and then we can just call it. This is another feedback that we have, the general feedbacks. Everything is just about like formatting your code better, how to do things, how to improve, how to do better things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, like again, the icons, it could already fit within one line. Yeah, see, it's more readable and it's more looking good, more formatted. Let's go to the utils and let's see what do we have here. We have some extensions, right? Everything's cool, looking great. Text styles, we have the text style, bold, yeah. This is also fine, I guess. Yeah, the service. Mock API that we have, some mock data. So yeah, we are listing over here the data that we have, but instead of the service folder, we could already create a folder named data, and inside we could add the, maybe this is already the name of the I guess the houses. So we could just create a file houses, and then we could already add these data within that file. But right now it's also fine, but instead of having a service folder, because utils are also like referring to the services, whatever services do we have, we just place it over here. So instead of like services folder, we could have a data folder, and inside then we could just give it this data and save it within the data folder. Let's go to this and see if we could find any feedback that I could give you. All right. Again, within the build method we are having right now this whole code return, which is not a really great approach. You can see no one can just read this whole code and understand it very well. Instead of this, we could just extract the widgets that we have, like just for example, we are having this animated scale, we could just extract it outside and then we call it within the build method. So it's more like descriptive, and it's more readable, and it's more formatted. Go to the home widget, see if there's anything that we could find. All right, the same thing like access of code within the build method. So we could already remove some of the code outside and make it more formatted so that people can understand and they can just read out your whole code. Like right now, if you can see from the beginning, the whole code goes into the build method without any names, context. Like we are using the widgets, yeah, but if we just extract it outside and give it some better names, better naming conventions, so it would be more descriptive, more formatted, more readable, and everything would be great. So for this guy, we don't have any like a lot of feedbacks. Yeah, of course there would be if we just like review the whole code with more focus. Right now in the live stream we couldn't do that, and we cannot do that because it will consume a lot of time. I was just searching for like general feedbacks, like the formation feedback, or maybe how to make your code better formatted so that it's always easy for the other people to review your codes, understand it better, and structurize this. Because at the end of the day, our code matters. Like if we structurize our code better, it's a good approach. Like it will give us a lot of benefits. Let's also go to the postfix.html file. So yeah, and this is also a good approach where you have already removed the comments, so this is also like a positive feedback. So this was it about the another project feedback, and let's go to the last project and review the whole feedback for the person, and let's see if we could give him some feedback. Alright, so this is third project from Daria. He have secured the third position in our last coding challenge, and I've already opened his project within the VS Code. So let's go through his project and see if there's any feedback that we could give him to improve his code quality and make it more formatted and make it more readable. So yeah, here you could, I will not just mention this the same feedback every time, because till now maybe you guys have already learned, instead of like using the curly braces, we could already use the arrow functions. It's more readable and it will just do the job for us. So this is about that, and let's see if we could find anything else. The same here, it's not very well formatted. We could just remove this comma over here. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, and after saving it, here you can see instead of writing it within the 3 lines, we have it within 1 line, so it's more formatted. Okay, let's talk about the folder structure, how he have already structurized his code. So let's go to the assets. Yeah, this is not a very good approach, I can say. Yeah, he have placed the images within the assets folder, but according to me, this is not a good approach, because we could create an images folder and then we can place these images inside the images folder, because in the assets a lot of things goes. We have the icons, we have the fonts, we have the images and different things. So all these things goes within the assets, but we have to create the subfolders for each type of assets. So this is the first feedback that I would give to structurize the code better, structurize the folder structure better. We have the constants. Inside the constant we have the text styles. Right. We have the assets constants. Right. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. Alright, and this is the sized box constant. So this is the positive feedback, like if you're using any data, hard-coded data, it is better to pre-define it somewhere within the constants folder. So it's always easy to, whenever if you find any need to change the data, you could just come here and change the data, or maybe the link of the pictures or anything that you want to change, and it will automatically change throughout the whole application. If you use hard-coded data, like you use different types of text styles in your application, and then you just do it everywhere differently in different screens and different files. So if you change like for example, if you change it in one place, it will not affect the other place. So it's always better if you have hard-coded things, it's better to have it within the constants folder, and whenever you're changing it, you just come over here, change it, and it will automatically change within the whole application. So this is again a very good approach. I would recommend you all people, like whenever you're doing the hard-coded things within the application, just keep it separated in a separate file, and it's always better. It's always easy to use it during the whole application, and you can easily access it throughout the application. Alright, so this is also the assets constants, and these are all the hard-coded things that he have already used and within the application. So this is a very good approach. He have kept it inside the constants. So whenever he feel that he want to change the logo, he would just come over here and just change the path of the logo, or maybe the name of the logo, and it would be automatically updated within the whole application. So this is a really great approach. Thumbs up. Now let's go to the main file. Let's start from the main file. Yeah, everything's good. Arrow functions. Let's go to the widgets. See if we could find any feedbacks. Everything's good so far. Yeah, again, instead of like we are having an image, so we could just extract it outside, maybe because to make our code more readable, we need to extract the widgets outside, because it will make our code more readable. Instead of writing the whole code within the build method, we could just write we could just extract it outside. We have the custom alert file. So yeah, this is almost looking fine. Okay, all right, everything looks great. Yeah, We have the custom snack bar. Yeah, everything's good. Let's go to this one and see if we could find any general feedback. This is also fine. Yeah, a lot of code within the method. We could already extract it outside to make it more interesting. Alright, we have the image cube. Okay. So let's go to the screens and let's see if we can find anything. We have the bottom of screen. Alright, should dialog. Have the icons. Right. Details screen. A lot of feedback, a lot of code inside the build method. We could do just remove it and extract it outside. Does not exist screen. Badge does not exist the screen. Yeah. This is some sort of the error. Maybe I suppose I assume I think this is some sort of error screen. Does not exist screen. Yeah, we have the favorite screen, we have the home screen, we have the profile screen. So as you can see, like in the first project we didn't have the screens folder. Instead of it we had the views folder. So it's always better to use this terminology like screens or pages and then name every page that we have inside with the maybe we call it like the letter word. After like we have the details, then it comes with the screen. So details screen, favorite screen, home screen. If it's like the pages folders, then you can already name your files like home page, favorite page, details page, or something like this. So then we have the providers. So it's always better to use the providers, the state management outside of the main logic. So it's always easy to maintain. Okay, all right, let's do it with the data. Yeah, instead of like keeping the models and the data inside the one folder, it's always better to keep it outside. Like, yeah, so as you can see, now we have the data inside. We have the properties or maybe houses data inside, and then we have the model. We have the house model. So yeah, now it's looking fine. So this was about this. I've already talked about the constants. Like it's a good approach to have. And all in all, these were the feedbacks, like the general feedbacks. Again, I would say like we will not go in more details because it will consume a lot of time, and I guess we have already spent a longer time within this live stream, and this was just the general feedbacks that I noticed, and I thought maybe in the future you guys can not do it to improve your code quality, make it more readable and make it more maintainable so other people can also understand. And this is what matters, like the code quality should always be high. We should not compromise on our code quality because yeah, the outcome would be great, but what behind it is like the code. So we should always be like structurizing our code better and better. So this was about the feedback session. I hope you guys have learned something from these feedbacks, like how we can improve our code quality. All right, let's go to the next session, which is the Q&A session, and let's see what questions do you have, and we will try to answer them all. Okay, so we are here in a Q&A session. Let me share my screen so that we can provide the answers to you. What questions do you have? Let's see. First of all, I guess you guys are already learning how to participate in these coding challenges. Therefore, there are not a lot of questions. But yeah, everything's going great. From Sandy, there's a question. What this is? This is basically the coding challenges that we have every week for you guys, so that you can improve in the development by doing these coding challenges and creating different applications. And we have also provided the links to join our WhatsApp community. So make sure if you missed that part, just click on the links that is available in the live chat, and you'll be able to join our WhatsApp community. Then we have a question from Hamid. I'm new and I have a question. How many times we have to complete this challenge. So you guys have like time till 5th February. Like the deadline to apply for this coding challenge is 5th February. And once you're participated, then you can continue and start working on this UI that we have provided. And the good thing is also this, that we have provided the Figma file, so you can just visit that Figma file and create see all the guidelines and everything, the assets that is used in the UI of the coffee shop application. And from there you can just clone the Figma design and then start creating the application. Also, you can just let's see the other applications, other questions. What do you have? All right, let's move a little bit down. Yeah, for sharing the codes for the last coding challenge, for the what was for the last coding challenge, it was the real start application. When we are just like when we were announcing the winners of the last coding challenge, there we have included the repository links of the winners. So if you need the code for their projects and you want to check it out, like how they have created this project and how they have won the coding challenge, then make sure that you go to that repository links and make sure to follow them, give them some stars, and then you can clone it and you can review the code yourself to see like how you can how they have completed this coding challenge and how they have secured the winner's position in the coding challenge. Then let's go down. The deadline is, I already mentioned that it's the 5th February for the participation. And so make sure that you guys fill the Google form before that 5th February. Let's see if we have any other questions. Let's move down. All right. Where can you see the guidelines of the challenge? So I've already talked about it while you're filling the Google form. Here we have included the link to the Figma design, and there you can go to see all the guidelines and the UI assets, everything that is available and that is used in this application. And from there, you can just clone it, or you can see the guidelines to learn from it, and then you can implement it and do everything. So make sure you do go there before starting the implementation to understand the structure and guidelines of the application, and make sure that you also create the repository publicly so that later on when we are reviewing your codes, we will be able to download your repository, we will be able to clone it, and after that we can review it. If you mark it private, then we are not able to see your codes or review it. So it will be like we won't be able to review it. So make sure to, while creating your repository, make sure to make it public. All right, so let's go to the next question. What kind of the structure would you recommend when calling APIs? Yeah. APIs calling are mainly in these coding challenges, we are just like focusing on this most importantly, like animations and creating different types of UIs. Like we have created the plant UI, now we have the real estate, now we have the copy shop app. Later on, when we are just advancing or coding challenges, then we will be talking about the APIs, including different APIs. And then later on, we will talk about more in details. Then we have another question from Chris Thomas that I'm a beginner Flutter developer. What is the best practice of creating responsive app for various sizes of mobile devices in regards to the text size, image button size, containers, etc.? Thank you. So thank you, Chris, for being here and watching this live stream. So basically what I would suggest to watch the live stream that we have earlier of creating the responsive apps. So there, by watching this live stream, you will have the idea how we can create responsive apps, because there we have talked about how you can make your app responsive for various devices and then test it out on different devices. And there we also have included some tips and tricks. So make sure for this question, you can go there and rewatch the live stream. And I hope it will work for you. Otherwise, you can also check out others tutorials on our YouTube channel, and we have a lot of videos regarding responsive applications. So let's go to the other questions. There is a question from Aditya. and he's asking that what's WhatsApp job opportunity group is full. So yeah, we have got a lot of participants, like a lot of people in there in the job opportunity group. So we will what we will do is just create another job opportunity group, and then we will update the link, and we will also share it within the old WhatsApp community, or maybe in the announcement group. So from there you can just join our new job opportunity group. And then we have the API calling to the lab section, like this one. Yeah, of course. From the lag tech channel, we have the question that when will you be working on the API calling to a live section like this one? So yeah, soon we are planning to have this live stream more oftenly, like every week, maybe in a 2 weeks. So probably we will have this API calling to a topic based live stream, and then we will talk about how you can use the API calling and how you can integrate them within your applications, and what are the best ways. And yeah, I guess I participated one with animation. Yeah, a lot of things with animations, and most importantly, like our UI projects, yeah, or UI coding challenges are more related to the UI based, and they're just like focusing on the animation, which are the basic things. And later on, we will be covering the API integration, maps, and then we have the backend integration in the later on live stream that we are coming and we are planning to have in the upcoming months or maybe weeks. So I guess that's all. These are all the questions. So that's it, I guess. Thank you, guys. I would say to thank you for being here and watching this live stream and making it success. I wish you the best participating in this coding challenge and completing this coding challenge, and being a sponsor, being here and getting shout out from the Flutter. So once again, thank you so much everyone for being here and watching this live stream.